a 2-bedroom premium on a high floor is the same price as a 2-bedroom premium plus study on a, say, mid to low floor,
Yes.
then that mid to low floor will go first.
Yeah.
In terms of size, in terms of space, in terms
Yes.
of how practical it is, this is what I believe that if this is going to happen.
Yes, yes.
Hi, this is Anne from Carry Real Estate. Welcome back. Previously, we did a video where we talk about the last 5 new launches that's going to happen at the end of 2025. So do you know anything about Skye At Holland?
Right. Total, you have 666 units. It's a 99-year leasehold in District 10, which is our CCR, and the expected TOP to be October 2029.
What about the preview date?
The preview date will be very soon, right? 27 September, and then it usually lasts for 2 weeks, and the booking date will be on 10 October itself.
Yes, correct. But of course, like whatever we are talking about, the dates may or may not change as of now. But once you see this video, do note that this is as of today, which is 9 September. Right. Along the way, if you want one of the most updated information, do join us or do reach out to us. There's a lot of ways you can find us. So without further ado, we will dive into the developer's track record.
Yes.
So in terms of developers, we have UOL, Singapore Land, King Leong, as well as Capital Land. These are all one of the group of very trusted developer. So most important thing in terms of the development, the recent developments that they have done, just to name a few. Of course, we have our Upper House, Mayor Blue, 21 Anderson. Right? If you guys have no idea about it, it's a development that only the super ultra high net worth people will be interested in.
Right.
I'm not joking about that. The price of maybe a 2-bedder, if you guys are aware, you can go and check out later. And of course, the recent one that did very well, which was Linden Woods.
Yes.
I think Linden Woods has like 94% sold on the first day, right?
Correct.
Yes.
So it shows that these developers are able to kind of have a good pricing, and also they are specialized in luxury. So Skye At Holland, I think generally this area, D10, will make it nice and they'll make it sure it's efficient layout. So overall, I think these developers, when they work together, the layouts and all are probably good.
Gonna be,
and the finishing as well.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, what about the location actually? It is located right beside the new launch previously, One Holland Village Residences, right?
Yeah, so I think from connectivity wise, right, for people who don't have a car, people who have a car, both also it will be quite convenient. So for people who don't have a car, like what you mentioned is next to Holland Village, and Holland Village MRT will be less than 300 meters, which is a couple of minutes walk only.
Yes. Yep.
If you do have a car, what happens is that if you drive within 1 kilometer, you can go to AYE Expressway, you can go to CBD. So overall, it's very well connected with or without a car. So for rental demand and also for home stayer, I think it will be good.
Do you know if it's
connectivity-wise.
sheltered? Will it be sheltered 300 meters?
Most likely will be.
Yeah.
Most likely
Probably.
will be. But in fact, this area, if you ask me, where are we closest located to, right? The expats. Because we all know that the One North area is where all the big tech companies are going to be there.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
Silicon Valley of Singapore. And these people, they love to stay near places where there is a very good lifestyle.
Yep.
And
Yes.
Holland Village, I think to many people out there, is somewhere where they would want to live and play and have fun in this area.
Yeah. I think the vibes there is very different. Right?
Correct.
It's like why
Yeah.
people want to stay in Katong or D15 area, right?
Correct.
It's very different vibes overall.
Correct. So I really think that this project itself does have its beauty, in terms of location-wise.
Yeah. If you look at the food and retail, right, surrounding, like we mentioned, there's a One Holland Village, which
Right.
Yep.
One Holland Village residence just above. But nearby, there's also Holland Drive Market and Food Centre, Ghim Moh Market. So overall, if you need food, I think you are never short of food in this area.
Correct.
Okay, what about schools though? Do you all know if there's any schools that's within 1 km?
From what I see, of course, you don't have much schools within 1 kilometer, but the very important thing is that buying in this area, it allows you to have a long-term investment cycle. Why do I say that? It's because your kid cannot just study in a preschool nearby. You have your ACS International, you have your Henry Park, all the way to your secondary school, to your polytechnic, and even to your NUS. I can tell you that you can enjoy your stay throughout here, not having to worry that you have to relocate because of schools.
Okay, when we move on to the unit mix, I think what we see here is that there's no one-bedders. We can see that actually a lot of the new developments, they're starting to shift where developers are not putting one-bedders anymore. I think the demand has shifted towards bigger size and at least 2-bedder units. Then there's the traction from homestayers.
Correct. Aside from that, if I'm looking at this, one very important thing that caught my attention is that there is a total of 666 car park lots. And this assures you that everybody has a one-to-one.
Yep.
Yeah, especially when we see all the up and coming development. In fact, for this location, if you ask me, I don't think the developer actually need to do this.
Yes.
But they chose to do it. It shows you that the developer knows that it is important for everyone to have a one-to-one. Because they want the development to do well as well. In the future, when the next buyer comes along the way, they will ask you, is it one-to-one? Nowadays, we get more and more of such questions.
Yeah.
So to me, this is something that is worth highlighting.
Yeah,
Yep.
usually the developers tend to compromise a bit on the space, cut a bit of car park.
Correct.
Because it's near MRT ma, so not
Yeah.
everyone will,
Yeah.
will
But I
ride
think
the
they
car
want to
park.
package it as a whole lifestyle
Yeah,
thing in a way.
Correct.
And maybe because they're targeting the richer people who have 3-4 cars, maybe.
Possible. But even for families now, there's a lot of families feel that a car is a necessity. So that's why the fact that they don't have one bedder, the fact that they have 666 car park lots, these are all telltale signs that they want these to be more, driven, or what you say, more catered towards families' needs.
Yep.
So in terms of project overview facing, generally you have two facing, but what I feel that is very strategic of this developer is that, you could be inward facing, which you get the pool view, or you could be outward facing. There's two main facings for outward view. One is towards the landed houses, the Bukit Timah Nature Reserve, right? So the other side will be facing Singapore Botanic Garden as well as the CBD area.
Yeah, I think the developers were also quite smart in terms of the placing of the units, right? Besides, there's One Holland Village residences, and what they did was to put the facilities there so that we don't block each other's view.
Correct.
And so if you actually want to have an unblocked view of the city, all you need to do is go past the One Holland Village commercial development, which is 7-story high. So I think getting like maybe 10-story and above would be enough for you to go past that view to have that CBD and Singapore Botanic Gardens view.
So if let's say the developer were to place this building and replace it to where the central lawn is, definitely you will be looking into One Holland Village residences.
The neighbor can see them showering. So if it was your which view do you all prefer? And okay, I mean for me, I don't mind a pool view facing, but I definitely wouldn't pay premium for higher floors, because if I go higher floor, I wouldn't see the pool, I would see my next door neighbor. So I would personally, if I go for pool view, I'll go with the lower floors.
Agree?
Yep.
Yeah. Otherwise, if I go outward facing, I would want higher floor to have the nice views, and then probably can get a nice price in the future. What about you?
I mean, if you ask me, I would generally feel that I would prefer the landed view, right? So this is what I'm thinking about, because if you see that direction, you don't really get much high-rise building. But I'm also more concerned about that road than North Buona Vista Road. I'm not sure if it's going to be a little bit noisy, but from there, I can already tell that the developer has set a very nice setback.
Yeah.
So yeah, generally, if you ask me, I think I would still prefer the unblocked view towards the Bukit Timah Nature Reserve. How about you, Anne?
I think both unblocked for right now is okay. As long as it depends on the price itself. So we are unsure how the developers are going to price it. So if it's two different outward facing at, for example, 11th floor, then maybe I'll determine by the price itself.
Okay, so either side of the view.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, both sides okay.
That's something good to know, right? So it kind of shows that maybe in the resale market, whether you have the CBD view or the landed view, maybe both buyers won't give much a premium to it.
Correct. So then if that's the case, your entry price is important.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, looking at the facilities here, I realize we don't have a tennis court.
Yeah, I realize
Yeah.
that. But what they are mentioning over here, we have 50 lifestyle facility. Yeah, I mean generally, if those that are staying here, if I'm not wrong, around this area, the Holland Village area, there should be certain areas where they do provide like very professional tennis court areas for the residents or people living in Holland to play. So there's no need to have it in your development already.
Yep.
Yeah. And I know some people do have the mindset that, if you don't have tennis court, then it'll be hard to make money. But we've seen a lot of projects without tennis court but still have crazy profits.
Correct.
So I mean, it's good to have, and I'm not sure that people actually use the tennis court. But we do have quite a lot of facilities like what you mentioned. We have 2 gyms, 2 swimming pool, 2 barbecue pits. I mean, how often do you have 2 gyms in a development for say 600 units? I think not many as well.
Yep.
So we can see that they're focusing on different type of lifestyles for this development itself.
The fact that they have Holland, they're smack right within Holland Village, they still have 50 lifestyle facility, right? I think it's really very luxurious.
Yep.
Right.
So now let's take a look at the project layout. So we will be starting with the 2 bedrooms first, and these are all the prices that the team has done. So this is not the actual prices yet. Yep. So let's start with the lowest quantum, which is 581 square feet, 2 bedroom. It is a dumbbell layout, which is something that is very popular nowadays as well, because it's a more efficient layout as compared to the traditional one.
Because we assume the price to be at 2007 square foot. So what we are looking at will be 1.569 million. So this 581 square feet, if you ask me, there are a few important stuff that, I'm glad that they put it in. For example, the master bath having a Jack and Jill toilet, right? This is very important. Aside from that, nothing too different from what we have seen in the market nowadays. Right? I think what is attractive would be the quantum that they're looking at, because this is a high-rise development. So if you're buying for investment, then I think it's very important for you guys to think about whether do I want to enter at buying from the low floor, because if let's say the per floor jump you're looking at maybe say 10,000, then essentially the lowest floor and the top floor you're looking at potentially 400k difference, and that is very significant. Right? So the next one we'll be looking at will be the 2-bedroom premium, 678 square feet. Right? The difference, of course, we are still using 2007 per square foot for our interpretation. So comparing to the 2-bedroom 581 square feet, it is about $260,000 more.
Yeah.
But the question is it worth it or not? Right? I think this comparison is very valid because the per square foot is the same.
Yes.
So it's really, in terms of layout, is it reasonable for you to pay this premium? What do you think?
Yeah, so I think the difference is that they have one extra bathroom in the bedroom, and also the kitchen is
enclosable, right?
Sort of enclosable. Yes, correct. But I think what we are compromising here is that both of them doesn't have windows, but that's also understandable for 2-bedroom, right? So then the question is, for 260k, is it worth it for the extra bathroom and maybe the kitchen that is different? I think personally, when people are going for the 2-bedroom, they would likely go for the cheapest quantum, just to stay in this area and also. So we might see 2-bedroom 581 square feet going off more. And going on faster than the 2-bedroom premium. And then we look at the 2-bedroom premium plus study, right? You're paying extra 145k more to have a study on top of the 2-bedroom premium. So extra study for 145k, I think that's quite a good price to pay. Unfortunately, the study, they've placed it in the master bedroom, but I think it's also linked to the balcony in a way that you can still cordon it off as a study or you can make it a bigger master. I think that gives the flexibility there. For 145k, I think personally I feel that the 2-bedroom premium plus study would likely be more sought after as compared to say the 2-bedroom premium.
Correct. I may be wrong, but I am already visualizing if a 2-bedroom premium on a high floor is the same price as a 2-bedroom premium plus study on a, say, mid to low floor.
Yes.
Then that mid to low floor will go first.
Yeah.
In terms of size, in terms of space, in terms of how practical it is. This is what I believe that this is going to happen.
Yes.
So I feel that the 2-bedroom premium plus study is a very good layout for me, because I do like to have like a bigger wardrobe area. So with the study being there, I can just change it up to have a walk-in wardrobe instead, rather than it being in the other room. So I think I'm very sold with the 732 square feet layout.
Okay, so out of these three, most likely for yourself as a first-time buyer, you will probably go for the 732.
Yes, I think that would be and it's a good size, because this is a post-harmonization project. So with 732, I think it's a good size.
Yep. And potentially there would be units available that's under 2 million.
Yes.
Which is a good pricing quantum for people to accept.
Yes.
Yep.
So moving on to the 3-bedrooms, there's two different types of 3-bedroom. One is the lower quantum one, which is at 915, which is not too bad. Then we have the other one that is a 3-bedroom premium at 1,076 square feet.
Okay, so for the 3-bedroom compact 915, I think it's quite a good 3-bedroom compact. Firstly, you do have initial foyer for you to start putting carpentries, put your shoe rack, and then coming in, you do have a kitchen that's closable with windows that can be open. And then coming in, you do have 3 good sizable bedrooms and also two bathrooms. So overall, this 3-bedroom unit, I think is well built in terms of the layout for the size, and you probably can get some under 2.5 million if the developers are good in their pricing.
Yep.
And then for 3-bedroom premium, what you're paying more for would be extra home shelter, extra yard, which is a bit of extra space to, let's say, hang your stuff, and then extra washroom. But you are potentially going to pay more, assuming the same per square foot basis, right? Extra 400 plus K. And what we're seeing in the market is that for home shelter, for extra washroom, maybe 250 to 300K would be a good pricing to pay for. So I do think that the 3-bedroom compact, and it's well built, it's not like a 3-bedroom compact that say doesn't have windows in the toilet, in the kitchen. Correct. So most likely people might go for the 3-bedroom more than the 3-bedroom premium, but we'll see.
My take on this is that I do agree with what you just mentioned. Reason because if we are assuming at 2.47 million for a entry of these 3-bedroom 915 square feet, in the future, even if it's for investment point of view, remember we did an analysis based on SingStat.
Yes.
What happened is that the range that the future buyer willing to buy in, maybe anything below 3 million is quite fair enough. Still within the affordability. So that's where I'm coming from as an investor. If let's say I'm going to buy in at 2.9 million, for me to buy someone that is willing to pay me 3.3, 3.4, maybe in terms of our exit strategy, it may not be as sound as compared to the 2.47. I sell it anyway slightly below 3 million. It's still within the ability of the general, the top 20% affordability.
True.
So, okay, let's move on to the 4-bedroom. 4-bedroom, my take will be slightly different because once we cross the $3 million mark, the people are not really bothered about the money anymore.
Yes.
It's about how practical,
lifestyle,
how big.
right?
Yep.
Correct. So if we take a look at the 4-bedroom, we have 2 sizes. The 1,238 square feet, D2 type, assuming 2.7 per square foot. Right, we're looking at 3.34 million. So when I look at this, what we have is a standard yard, wet kitchen, everything is there. But when I compare this with the 4-bedroom premium, 1,464 square feet, about say 230 square feet more. But when I look at the floor plan, it is amazing. Why? It's because you really get a big kitchen you're looking at with the island in the middle. Right? This is what we call lifestyle. So they can choose to open up the whole livable area to host their people, and it is a landscape layout in terms of the living. And this itself, I'm sold by it.
Yes.
Because if you compare to the living of the 4-bedroom, normal 4-bedroom, it's more of a portrait. So there is a big difference. To me, this is what I see. For now, these few things is enough to make me be willing to pay the extra 600K for it.
Yes. I agree with you. I think when you reach this price quantum, right, people are more interested in the lifestyle, the luxury. You want to have a big space to host people.
Yes.
You see the kitchen is so big, you can 5 people cook at the same time. And then the landscape living, you can open up your kitchen to make it entire space look big. You do have a private lift. You have private lift for both the 4-bedroom and 4-bedroom premium. But overall, with the luxury experience, I think people are willing to pay that quantum.
会比较大气
And
一
you
点。
even
Yes,
have
exactly.
the junior master. So I mean, the 600k we are looking at is justifiable. But if let's say the gap is even smaller than what we expect, then it is a no-brainer to go for the 4-bedroom premium.
Yes, yes. And 4-bedroom premium also have a walk-in wardrobe. So, and if you're interested to have a walk-in wardrobe for all your...
Anyone interested?
Looking at the land locations, so previously for One Holland Village residences, the bid price was actually 1,888. So guess the bid price for Skye At Holland now.
1,285.
Correct.
Okay, but of course, why are we talking about this? Is because when we do a very good comparison,
Yep.
right? One of the most, I would say, easiest way to compare is what happened recently. And to pick up something recent and something within the vicinity, the first thing that comes to our mind will be Alta.
Yeah.
Correct. So of course, what we can do is that Alta bought the land at $1,250 per square foot per plot ratio, and we are $1,285 per square foot per plot ratio, which means about $30 over difference.
Yep.
So by looking at them, it gives us a good gauge.
Yeah.
So-
If the developers price it the same, most
Correct.
likely it should be around that range, right?
Yes. So of course for Alta, on the launch day itself, they sold at about say 2,537 per square foot. So plus minus, of course this is average. I just want to let you guys know.
Yep.
So that means that there are definitely transactions above, below, but this is a general average. So if we take this average, I believe that our Sky Holland will be more or less about there, say 2.6, 2.7 in
Yep.
general.
And we do have 3 developers who bid for this land.
Correct.
So actually, Capital Land, UOL, Sing Land, and King Leong didn't really overpay for the land because Hong Leong, which was second, bidded like 60 per square foot lower than that. So we kind of know that generally developers do price it at around that range.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah. So if the developers are kind in this one, 2006 potentially 2007 would be a good starting price.
Let's
for
hope
them.
that they are
Hopefully,
nice.
hopefully.
we have a potential buyer here hoping to buy, so please be nice.
The 4-bidder.
The 4-bedder.
Yes. But of course, when we look at it, all right, when we look at this thing, right now we know that next to us we have this One Holland Village residence.
Yeah.
So what we have seen so far, okay, if you guys are new to this, One Holland Village residences comprises of 296 units. There's a first-story commercial as well as 255 service apartment. So why is it important to mention about this? Because we know that as of now, there has been one transaction,
Yes.
right, transacting at 3,781 per square foot.
Yep.
So the question would be, with this number there, if I'm buying way below, say 2,600, 2,700,
Yes.
does it mean that potentially I have $1,000 per square foot as my, gap over there?
Yeah.
What's your
Potentially,
take?
yes.
Even if we don't consider that, right?
Correct.
Just looking at how much they were sold, I think the range started from 2,683 to close to like 3,000 plus per square
Correct.
foot.
Yep.
So overall, we know that even if we don't consider that one transaction, we are still buying at 2019. Is it 2019 price?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think generally we are going to be well priced if the developers decide to be nice.
And don't forget, One Holland Village residences is pre-harmonized.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct to say
Correct.
that. So in fact, if we are buying it at the same price, 2007 to say you said 3,000,
Yes.
then we work backwards. Generally,
Yeah.
we are still entering at the price of 2019, if you ask me.
Yes, correct.
So, and then why do I mention about the term service apartment? Because today, what we have studied above, the one-to-one car park lot, there's no one bedroom. You can tell that Skye At Holland is more meant for family, I would say.
Yep.
So the service apartment, if it is within a development, sometimes it may affect the general impression of the development. So
yes.
I mean, don't need to worry so much because I believe there are a lot of people out there on the fences waiting to see how will it come out to be.
Yeah.
Right? What's your take? Like, what's your impression of having a service apartment within your development? What do you guys think?
For myself, I think that if service apartment, people are staying for short term, it's a bit like using facilities in the hotel. People might not
Take care of
treasure
it.
it as much, take
Yeah.
care of it as much, compared
Correct.
to, let's say, you stay in your own place, you want to take care of
Yes.
the place, right?
Right.
So there might be a higher chance, I'm not saying that people are irresponsible, right? But there's a
Yeah.
higher chance that the facilities itself might not be well taken care of.
Might be more well used.
In a way,
You like
yes.
it well used. Correct. But I mean, because there are a lot of people quite concerned because they are saying that, hey, but only one transaction, 3,007. But that's
Yeah.
why we put that all aside.
Yes.
Based on the fact that One Holland Village residences transacted at say 2,700 to 3,000 back
Yep.
in 2019. I think this point itself is enough to tell us that we are buying back in.
2019
Correct. And
prices.
how
Yes.
often do you get to go back in time? Never ever. So
Yep.
this is a window of opportunity, and I do believe that this project may perform better than its neighbor because of the fact that it does not have this service apartment element.
Yep.
I think people are still not very comfortable with the whole idea.
Correct. In terms of our KYA maps framework, the first thing that we always take a look at is macro, and I'll hand over to the specialist.
Okay, if you look at the macro in itself, what we did as a proxy, so typically if we buy a resale unit, we look at the resale transactions within the unit, we look at the units available to kind of know if there's over or under supply. But for new launch, we can't see because there's no transactions, right?
Yep. Right.
So how we use as a proxy is surrounding developments around the area. So what we did for Skye At Holland is to look at within 1 kilometer from Holland Village to understand what are the number of listings available, firstly, and then what is the past year sales. So if we do have more sales than the listings compared to the entire CCR region, then we know that compared to CCR CCR region, this area is potentially undersupplied.
Yes.
And that is when, if you look at the right side, we do have Y. Y stands for yes. So essentially anything with Y kind of shows that it's above the CCR region average, which means that there is a potential undersupply in this area.
Correct.
So what we also did is also look at 3-bedder units just as a assessment to look whether is it different for 3-bedder unit versus all the other units. So we see that for One Holland Village area, they are both yeses, which means that if you're looking for 3-bedder, you're looking for a unit within this area, generally there's a potential undersupply as compared to CCR region.
Understand. Very clear and very well delivered. So I think at least for us to know is that, if I'm someone that wants to buy a 3-bedder and you have just shown me that maybe for this area the district is undersupply, but if the 3-bedroom doesn't show a yes, then maybe I want to second want to think through again.
Correct.
So that's very important because we do see a lot of investors nowadays looking into buying a bigger unit. So I think it makes the 3-bedroom that we saw just now, the 915 square feet, a perfect fit in terms of when we say we compare to the SingStat. I just want to share again, right? Then it's within the affordability of people, and that is where you do get to see that it's a very good entry. But let's see how it goes like on the launch day. What's the price going to be like? So the next one that we can take a look at would be the price gap analysis.
Okay, if you look at One Holland Village Residences, which is about 300 plus meter from the Holland VMRT, it's quite similar to Skye. So Skye is about 393, so all within 400 meters. So it's a good proxy for us to look at that pricing, right? So how we typically look at price gap is we want to normalize them and look at it apple to apple, which means we do like a lease reset, and we also adjust for GFA harmonizations and all that stuff. So what we do is we take the average per square foot of One Holland Village, which is 2828, I think quite reasonable, and then we do a plus 7% for GFA harmonization, and that's because you remove the aircon ledgers and all that stuff, so we do adjust the per square foot from there, and it's a 4 years difference. So from Holland Village Residences is 2025 TOP, likely Skye At Holland is going to be 2029. So you plus 4 years, and on average, based on the large data pool that we have from projects with different lease duration, 40 per square foot would be a good number to use, 40 to potentially 45. So what we do is, if you times 4 years, 40 per square foot, the fair value for Skye At Holland is going to be 3,186 per square foot. And then if we take Leiden Residence as the other comparable, average per square foot is 2,007. We do plus 7% again for GFA harmonization. And some people are going to say that, it's freehold versus leasehold. So what we do is we add a freehold premium. So we've seen freehold premium being about 10 to potentially even 20%. So let's use 15% as average, right? And then we plus 40 per square foot times 14-year difference. Actually, for units that are more than 10 years difference, right, they tend to be, because there's a Bala curve and all that, so people tend to actually price it higher. So we do see differences going up to 50 per square foot if you above 10 years. But here, let's be a bit conservative, put it as 40. We are seeing that the average is going to be, say, about 3,051 per square foot. So quite close in terms of the range. So we can see that the fair value of Skye At Holland potentially is 3,000 to about 3,002 per square foot. And average would be, say, the mid floor, so maybe about 20 plus floor. But something to know is that this is just taking an average of 1-bedder, 2-bedder, 3-bedder, right? So if you really want to go down to specific bedroom type, unit type, then we have a more accurate price gap analysis. Moving on to the price matrix.
This is the one that we are all very excited about. As always. So we were thinking this is just our own estimation and not the developers starting from prices yet.
That's what you hope, right, Anne? The pricing.
Yes, definitely. Even though we did mention that, probably even if it's at 3,000, that's something that's still of safe entry. But definitely everybody wants to buy the cheapest possible, right?
Yes. Hope the developers are nice to you.
So we are looking at about 2,600 all the way to 3,000. So this is our own price matrix.
And 2,600 potentially starts from level 1, level 2, right?
Probably.
And as we go per floor, it starts increasing in per square foot.
So potentially if we are looking at 2,700 per square feet, actually we can get a good size 3-bedder at less than 2.5 mil.
Correct.
Yes, for D10 as well, I think for the luxury location, that's a good entry price and quantum.
Right, and in fact, if you look at it, right, at 2007, we move slightly further because this is District 10. We're talking about this is in CCR, our core central region. And if you compare to few stops up, our Beauty World area, they are already transacting at 3,000 per square foot. So this makes the price very attractive.
And if we look at the new GLS lands for Bayshore, for Trump Park, I think they're going to sell
Projected,
2008, 2009. So staying in CCR, staying in D10,
with this kind of
cheaper.
price, yes.
Because we have already done our calculation to know that based on the price that the Bayshore land was sold at, the projected price is already there. So if, there's a lot of people out there that are still new to this, they have not been exposing themselves enough. These are all windows of opportunity because once Bayshore is officially launched, all these things is going to make perfect sense. But by the time it might be a little bit too late.
Yep.
So of course, in terms of exit strategy, what are we looking at? Two things. First thing would be the Holland Village residence in terms of pricing and investment potential. So where are we today? I just mentioned to you guys, being a fully residential development. as compared to our neighbors with some part of it as service apartment. I think we ourselves it's just a different product if you ask me.
Yep.
Right. Then of course having the 1-to-1 and then no one bedroom, you can expect people living there to be more family and stuff like that. And of course in terms of lifestyle. So if the launch price is expected to be within 2007, 2008, I can tell you that Sky Holland definitely offers very strong value in today's market. But of course, like we mentioned, depending on which bedroom you're going for, if you're going for the 3-bedroom size, then perhaps you can listen to our advice, right? Then if you're going for the 4-bedroom and above, it's a lifestyle, just go for the big one lah. Because lands are getting smaller, units are getting smaller.
Yep.
So to be able to go that big, there are people out there really specifically looking for big units.
Yes.
Like we have served a lot of clients looking at Leiden residents, and they only want the big ones.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So it's either you go small, you go cheap, or you go big.
Yes, yes.
That's my take.
Something to note is also we assume 2007, which is the same for all, but developers might not price it that way.
Correct.
So they might change the per square foot depending on 3-bedroom premium and all. So I think if you're interested in a specific unit type, and when the price actually comes out, then we can do a better analysis for you to look at what's the right entry price. Should you go for the bigger, smaller unit? So it really depends on developer pricing and the strategy at the end of the day.
And just in
Yes.
case a lot of people do not know, on the day itself, the few days before, maybe upon dropping check and stuff like that, we will have a heat map. I think this one I need to share a little bit. It's the first time maybe for both of you.
Yep.
So this heat map represents what? The amount of interest in that particular size. Let's say we talk about 3-bedroom premium, 4-bedroom. We will have a heat map to know that if as an investor, I know that people are going for there, then how's my strategy going to be like? So we start planning few days before. Until the day before, we will then finalize what's the final strategy we're going to be going in. Because once we go in on the booking day, we want to be clear with what we're going for. We're not going to be stepping into that thinking box.
Yes.
So basically, the thinking box is that once you go in, you cannot make up your mind, right? They ask you to stand one side.
Are you serious?
Honestly, and it's very stressful.
And then the next few number will just go on
Oh,
after
really?
you.
Yeah.
So you see your new units getting snapped up while you're in the thinking box.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard people standing there for 1 hour.
So you have too many people, it's just a cluster thinking box, is it?
Hey, you also come in. Hey, you also come. No lah, it's just that one few, I don't know, but it's just very stressful. So
Yes.
that's why it's always important to be there prepared.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think as an agent, we also need to be firm lah. At the end of the day, if it's not fair, we feel that the price is not right, then walk away lor.
Yes,
I think that's
yes.
what agents are there for, especially for us. We believe in in terms of investment, there is a walk away price.
Yes.
There is always more opportunities out there. Don't because of the hype when you're there. I've been there a few times, so it's like very stressful. It's like very exciting also.
Yes.
But it's like you don't want that excitement to suddenly,
Yeah, you don't want to rush into FOMO. You don't want to
Correct.
just buy
Never
something just
ever.
because you feel that
Yeah.
you're going to miss out, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Then of course in terms of another exit strategy would be the top schools around the corner. Of course
Yep.
we have like mentioned a few good schools,
Yes.
right? For example, Henry Park, Fairfield Methodist, Newtown Primary, Nanyang Primary. Basically all the good schools are there. In Chinese we call this a 学区房. Right? It's an area where you can really see your kids from childcare all the way to primary, secondary, tertiary, and even
Yep.
graduate. So if you're looking for a long-term investment to stay there, and I mean what is there to really hiam about this Holland area?
Yeah.
You want food, there is food. You want accessibility, there's accessibility. Basically everything is there.
Yes.
Tell me one bad thing about that. You see, you guys can't name it, you see?
You don't want to go home because there's too many places.
Yeah, I do agree. If I really buy there, right, I tell you weekends I cannot see my wife at home.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe my expenses will increase because why? My wife, today I'm going to do nails. Tomorrow I'm going to do lash. Then after
It's
next
all
day I'm
around.
waxing. Everything
Yes.
is there, I tell
Yeah.
you. But anyway, okay, I like the bad stuff, but my wife's going to love there.
Yeah.
But okay, so then how are we going to summarize everything by saying that why you should not buy?
Yep.
So what's the take?
I feel that since it is such a hype up place whereby you get all the amenities that you have, it's all very convenient. So if you are somebody that is looking at a quieter space, and if you are somebody that is more into like a privacy in terms of
You love quietness,
you
you love peace.
quietness, correct, then maybe this is not the right project for you.
Yep.
So number 2 would be the potential lifestyle trade-offs, definitely. So just now we did mention that even though we have 50 lifestyle amenities that is in Skye At Holland, but it is still a 666 unit. So
Right.
there would be some compromise. For example, barbecue pits.
Yeah.
So this could probably be a trade-off as well.
Right.
So
And
if
then-
you are somebody that is looking to really barbecue every single weekend, then probably this is not the right project for you.
But ultimately, it's because there is so many people. So if let's say you're very particular about the high density within a
Yeah.
project,
Yep.
Correct.
then maybe this may not be the one for you.
Right, but potentially you might have to wait very long for the lift because there's very high floor, every level maybe have people
Oh, that's
Correct.
true.
morning. So that's something about
true.
high density living area, right?
Yes.
And maybe you don't want to swim with so many people.
Yeah, you just want your own pool, right? Then you buy the landed across.
Yeah, and lastly would definitely be the freehold status, because Skye At Holland is a 99-year leasehold. So if you're somebody that's looking towards legacy planning and you just want freehold, then probably this is not a project that's suitable for you.
Can go for Leiden residence.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a-
So you have all the projects that you want to sell me already. So now let's take a look at why we think that this project is a good buy.
Right, so in terms of why you want to consider this, I think number one would be the prime location and its excellent connectivity. I think this place itself, we don't have to say so much, right? Be it whether you drive, you take public transport, you will always get home faster than your friends. Simple as that. Can I say that? Right?
True.
Right? So because, like, if you go and drink whatever your friend, you know, hey, I'm gonna take MRT.
I go
I'm
upstairs.
right? Even if you go places like we really love to go Sentosa. I mean, you have Circle Line and stuff like that. This is just convenient, lah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
So
true.
next one will be a powerhouse collaboration between all these renowned developers.
Yep.
It is very rare, right? But I like to see that there are more and more all these renowned developers coming together.
Yeah.
Because each of them probably have their own, strengths. So
Yes.
when they all come together, this just tells me that this development is just going to be full of, quality finishes.
Correct.
It's everything will be well thought of.
Yep.
So if you always wanted maybe this part from this developer, that one from that developer, I tell you that this is something that is all in
Yeah,
one.
it's like Avengers, all the good things coming together, and they all have a reputation to hold, right? So you know
Correct.
that definitely it won't be
Yes.
a poor development here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the last one will be a very strong capital appreciation potential, if you ask me. So it is very rare for you to find strong rental demand. If you are someone that loves strong rental demand, Skye At Holland in District 10 definitely addresses that limited supply issue. And then of course, like I mentioned, all these expats that love to live near their workplace, this makes Holland the next best area. Either they live next to their office, if not, this is a place that they will love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, where else can you find? I mean, other than Holland Village, the next closest probably Serangoon area. That is where I would say most expats love to live there as well because of the nightlife and the lifestyle over there.
Yes.
Generally, those that are more towards the west side, be it your Jurong 2nd CBD, be it your Singapore's Silicon Valley, right? We're talking about the One North area.
Yep.
They are definitely gonna be coming and patronizing Holland Village.
Yes.
Like almost on a day-to-day basis, if
Yep.
you ask me.
Yep.
Right?
So that's it for our Skye At Holland analysis. So if you are looking at the latest update as well as
For example, layouts that we never point out because of interest of time, and you want us to specifically analyze that for you, let us know.
yes, and we'll see you in the next one.
Like our content, subscribe for more.